What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my Sunday stream. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, you did have a good trading week this week. It was mixed. We had big tech earnings. We had all of that hype. It was pretty mixed. We had some that were up. We had primarily a lot that were up in the after hours, but then the following day they fell. This and that, guys. You know how it went this last week. So I think hopefully, really all the non excitement's over because we just really went horizontal for the whole week and we're still going horizontal. But futures are opening up green. As of right now, we still have a lot of time till market opens, of course. So we'll just have to see where we open up. But as usual, I'm gonna break down the Nasdaq, the SPY, the other index, and then we'll go from there, guys. We'll do a couple. If you're tuning in, you can tell me a stock, and I'll get to it. But yeah, that's how we're gonna do things tonight. But let's get right into the Nasdaq. No, this is not a smiley face. This is an inverse head and shoulder pattern that I drew out. So this is the first shoulder. This is the head. It's inverted, and this is the other shoulder. This is the inverse head and shoulder, so it's supposed to break to the upside, right? A regular inverse head and shoulder breaks to the downside. So we're looking for this to break up to the upside coming on tech. Now, we could keep going horizontal, guys. It's very possible that we stay within this horizontal range. I have these bright red lines for a reason, and that's because anything in between here is just us consolidating. Yes, we tried to get above it this week. Even last week we tried to get above it, but we fell right back into it. So the market's just pulling over right now, and it's not too much excitement. We could do this for, who knows, we could do this for a couple more weeks. But it is a new month, guys. We are starting the month fresh. With regards to May, it's iffy. It's spotty. It's not a big week for the market. Not a big month for the market. Excuse me. April was a big month, and you guys saw we had a big month. So, not a big month coming into May. It's gonna be very, I think, consolidation, or maybe we'll see some red. So that's what I'm looking out for. The SPY now. You can already tell the difference between the Nasdaq and the SPY. Nasdaq had to push up, had to pull over. Unfortunately, with the SPY, it had to push up, not even pull back, and continue to push up. So the SPY has a lot more room to fall down, I do think. So going into this week, guys, my main focus is always tech. So I'm into a bunch of tech stocks. We have other people that are into small cap stocks, but I'm into tech stocks, and that's what I primarily watch and specialize in. So what I'm, honestly going into this week, I'm not expecting too much. I'm kind of hoping we have another sideways week. I know it's boring, guys. I know, just us consolidate is boring. You don't have too much action in your account. You're not making too much, but there is individual plays out there. So you can capitalize on that. But for the most part, since these last 2 weeks or whatever, my account's been consolidating as well. Haven't been really do much. So definitely looking at this consolidation period this week. Hopefully we do get a consolidation period yet. What's up, Bill? Can you look at YVR? They had some news on it. Not quite sure if it's going anywhere. What are they specialized in? Liquid Media Group. All right, let's see. I have extended hours on. So just looking at from a technical standpoint. It brought to my attention that you said news. So if I was playing this one, I think I would play it for the news, because it has its pumps ups right here, and then it came back down, and it's really been just selling off. So Bill, if I was playing this one, then like I said, it'd be for the news, and I would have to do some research for that. But once it gets above, most likely, once it gets above 320, I think that's when we see our breakout. So the price point I'd be watching out personally, Bill, is 320. Watch for the breakout above. But from a news standpoint, that's where you would have to do your research on that and see, what's actually happening with this stock. Hey man, do you see it? What's up, Caesar? Do you see a correction around 10% in the S&P 500 and the Dow is a potential catalyst for tech stocks? Good question. Good question, Caesar. So that is good to point up because once again, the Dow and the S&P 500, the Dow isn't really made up of tech stocks. S&P 500 is a combination of it. So, Caesar, we'll work with, the S&P 500, it has a mixture of stuff. So, if we're going to see a correction, now I don't know if we get 10%. So 10%, I think if we get a 10% correction on the S&P 500, I think we get a 5 to 6% drop on the Nasdaq, no matter what happens. I really do. So if we got a 10% correction, definitely I'd see the Nasdaq pulling back with that. Now, it really depends on how the other stuff in the S&P 500 work. So, like the financials, Bank of America, if Bank of America comes down, it had an amazing run. So, what was happening in February when the Nasdaq pulled back hard, the S&P 500 didn't really see that pullback, and that's because of this stuff right here, financials. It took off. So, in order for us to really see that happen, I think these are going to have to hurt badly. Now, keep in mind, tech, if it's up, is still going to be propping up the S&P 500 to a certain point. So, if any of them have a correction, I think it would probably be the Dow. The Dow would be more likely to see that deeper pullback, because if the S&P 500, like I said, mentioned, if it does see that pullback, that 10% correction, something airlines, hotels, financials, they would have to pull back harshly, and tech at the same time, they would have to be pumping up, and then I don't think we see that huge of a correction on S&P 500 for that reason, without tech actually pulling down with it. So that's what I'd be on the lookout for. But overall, for one of them to pull back, I would say it was the S&P 500, Caesar. Just space is so overextended. Since this run, I circled this. I want to pull back down to there. Okay, let's say instead of large cap tech in general, we talk about smaller caps. Imagine NEO. Yeah, I think those will start to pump back up. I do think that. So NEO is one that I've been advocating. That's what I post mainly on my channel. I think NEO's just getting started. I really do like NEO. It got up here, pulled back, got bought right back up. We heard earnings, so a volatile event. So yeah, I see NEO definitely coming on a run. And Nano, always love Nano. Been following Nano since November. So I've been following Nano for a bit. It's really unfortunate to see it did suffer. So a lot of these did have the same fate. They all look the same. The pull back, push up, then sell right back off. So yeah, definitely money could rotate back into these smaller caps, and that would be a viable point, definitely. So hopefully the money does start rotate back into them, because I like NEO, I like Nano, and that is a possibility, Caesar. Abdul, what's up, my man? But definitely, we did shift. The market did shift. Whenever it had that drop and tech was dropping large cap, the small caps did drop as well with it, and large cap recovered. But the smaller caps have been struggling a little. They have been, and some tech companies have still been struggling, like AMD. It's been struggling, but for the majority of companies, they've recovered nicely. Even Tesla has really been struggling to recover back to its high. So definitely, if we do see some rotation into the small caps, then potentially, other things may sell off. So that's what I'd be looking at. I still like all of them. Definitely, all of them are viable, but I'm a fan of all of them. And I really do want to see NEO, start pumping back up. I think it's well deserved. Really, what I'm looking at NEO for this week, guys, is the breakout. We're doing the same thing as we are with the market. We're kind of really consolidating right here. So anything below this line right here, 44.67, is just consolidation. So breaking above that is going to be crucial. So hopefully we do get that this week. I'm very curious to see how this week goes about. Really, guys, I think it could go, go either way. Now, ideally, as I mentioned in the beginning, I kind of want to see some more consolidation. I don't think we're ready just yet to start pumping back up. I think we need to consolidate, for another week, and then that would be good. Because if we don't consolidate and we do pull back, it could get really deep. And like I said, we're going into May. May's not really a huge month for us. So definitely got some things to look out for this week. I don't think this week's going to be too exciting. Not too much going up. And to be honest with you, tech earnings was just they were bland. It was not exciting at all. I mean, yes, there was individual companies that really did good, like Facebook. Amazon really pumped up. Um, Microsoft pulled back. Microsoft was already extended though. Keep in mind, Apple had a not so. I mean, they had good earnings, but the reaction wasn't there. So it was pretty boring. Even though it was supposed to be a volatile week, it was pretty boring indeed. Something else we can look at is Bitcoin. Um, Bitcoin has had a humongous pump. Bitcoin is back on this road to recovery. Bitcoin is looking fairly good. I like it here. So we had this dip right here, it got bought right back up, pulled back, bought right back up, pulling back. So for Bitcoin, what I'm looking at is the breakout above 58,000. So Bitcoin is looking promising, but as usual, we'll have to just wait and see until market opens. But it's doing the same scenario where it pushed up, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back, and then you know what happens next, a push up. So Bitcoin, guys, is definitely making its way, back up, hopefully, to its all-time high levels. But Bitcoin looking good. You don't want Bitcoin, though, to be putting in this lower high right here. Have you seen the correlation between BTC and the 10-year? I have not. Man, what is it? TLT? No, that's the 20-year. What's the TXT? No. TRT? No. What is it? Do you know what it is, Caesar? What the symbol is? I thought it is not TLT. T. I thought it was TXT. Is it? Or is it TVT? No? What is it, guys? It's something T something T. T and X. Thank you. Oh, I was wrong. They look very similar actually. We had the pullback, now the 10-year is starting to pump up. That's interesting. That is interesting indeed. I would say for right now, it seems like Bitcoin is following this. Let's see. How do I add a stock? Compare. BTC. Let's see. Yeah, for the most part, pushing up, comes down, pushing up, comes down, pushing up, breaks down. They dip a little further here. But for the most part, yeah, it looks fairly like they look very similar. I will say that. I will say that. Came down, pushed up. Yeah. Uh, they do look very similar. Good eye, man. Good eye. That is interesting to see indeed. Huh. All right, how do I get this Bitcoin off? There we go. I mean, it strengthens the hypothesis that people see Bitcoin as definitely. Let's look at the dollar. Yeah, dollar's been selling off. So yeah, I mean, I can see why dollar's been selling off. Bitcoin was selling off, so not 100% correlation with that. Can you check Blink and ChargePoint? Sure. Blink, I got interested on what was it, Thursday? Pumped up, came back down. I'm really looking for Blink to get above 38.68. Once you get above 38.68, then I'll be confident with that. Overall, I like Blink. I like what they stand for. I actually did a really extensive research paper on clean energy companies dealing with climate change, and Blink and ChargePoint were actually the two companies that I researched and found information on them and stuff within the charging area. So definitely like what these companies stand for. I really did a lot of research on them. They're really strong companies, and all of the evidence and data points to that they're only going to continue to increase as electric vehicles become more present. And the fact is, guys, that currently the charging infrastructure is not there where it needs to be. Um, so the U.S. has pledged to put out 500,000 charging stations throughout the country by 2030, but all of the data points to that we're going to need a lot more than that, and that's where these third-party companies coming in, like ChargePoint, Blink, that's where they're going to come in and provide that value. And I think this is only the start for these companies, and I think these are really good companies. Caesar, I do not. I actually make my money from trading. I make my money from trading. More of a swing trader. So, but I do watch the market pretty much every day. I'm also a student as well. But I like I said, I make my income from trading. It's been very well to me. Started 4 years ago. So definitely have fallen in love with this career. 132.42 is the support resistance at 140.70. Looking for the breakout above that. We got above that, so we did have earnings right here. Where I'd look for a dip buy right here, 132.42. That's where I'd buy in. Jumia. What are you studying? Well, currently I'm doing a couple things. So I'm doing stuff in the financial industry. So I'm doing accounting and then also computer science. So it's like a mixture of both. I know they're on very opposite spectrums, but to be honest, the only reason I'm doing college is because I got a scholarship full ride, and I was like, why not, just explore some things, and if I like it, I like it. But I've realized that I like trading the most out of everything, so I might just end up doing that for the rest of my life. Jumia, let's see, Jumia 31.22. That's the area I was looking at. Let me delete some of these because these are I only need the important ones. Let me redo these. Let's see. So we don't need that triangle anymore. So Jumia has been making lower highs here, so that is apparent. So the first level I'd be on the lookout for to get above is 38.87. Needs to get above that. If not, we're just making lower highs. But it definitely doesn't need to break this last low right here at 27.80. Doesn't need to break that. The next level I'd look for once it gets above 38.87 is, let's see, right here at $44.93, $44. I want to see it break above that. And truly though, I wouldn't be convinced with Jumia to get back above this last high right here. Once we get back above that, then I'd be, confident in getting in Jumia once again. But right now, what we're working with is we are making lower highs. That is apparent. So until we change that trend, we're still in a downtrend. So once again, I would be careful in getting into this one. You can get into this one, but just realize the risk involved that you are getting into a downtrend. So if you want to wait for confirmation, then at the very least, it needs to get above 38.87 for me personally to consider it. You might already be in it and like the company, that is okay, but that's where I'd be looking at, levels I'd be looking at. So for my watch list, guys, just to summarize some things up and wrap this stream up, do apologize, it is going to be a little short today, but what I'm looking at is the tech stocks, Apple, looking at Facebook. Well, Facebook, never mind. It has quite some room for me to be getting into that. But Microsoft is definitely getting on my radar where, we start getting into the 240s is where I'm buying Microsoft again. But definitely NEO is on high alert. I do think NEO has a good week this week, guys. And then, of course, I'm looking at Square. Square's back on this crucial support, watching that. Tesla, as always, I'm in Tesla, actually pretty good. So I'm looking for Tesla to hopefully continue its momentum. We got that huge buy-in on Friday, and then hopefully we see that some more continuing into this week. And then one more that I am on watch out for is PayPal. So they do report earnings this week. So I am excited about this. I am in PayPal, but I don't want PayPal to get below 260.88. So those are the stocks I'm watching this week, guys. As always, I will be coming out with a NEO video tomorrow, and I will do another live stream tomorrow night, but I may do one during the day. So be sure to subscribe, hit the notification button, so if I do go live, you will get that. But other than that, guys, hopefully you do have a good night and that the market is great tomorrow. Other than that, guys, stay safe and I will see you tomorrow.